up, what it is, what's happening YouTube? It's your boy Certified, and I'm back with another banger for you guys. Y'all already know what's up. If you're not a subscriber to this channel yet, what I always tell you guys, go and smash that subscribe button. You know why? Because it don't cost me nothing, don't cost you nothing. Just click that red button for me. And if this is your first time tuning in to this channel, welcome to Certified Official. So I'm just gonna dive straight into this thing. As you guys see behind me, there's a small little facelift on my Bronco, and that's because I installed the DV8 mini bull bar with the 20-inch series Elite Series light bar. I know that was a mouthful, but there are a ton of products on the market right now, especially for the Broncos with the modular bumper. You can do bull bars, light bars, you name it. Well, for me, I wanted something that wasn't too crazy, but I also wanted it to be functional. So that's why I chose this product. And as you guys will see towards the end of this video, it definitely makes a difference. So if you guys are interested in this, make sure you stick around, because I will cover how to install it, because the parts themselves does not come with installation instructions. So I hope this video finds you all helpful if you guys are willing to do it yourself. So let's get into it. So I went ahead and unboxed everything just so you guys can see everything that comes inside. And one thing I do want to note is that if you're planning on doing this yourself, be mindful of, because I did not see any installation instructions with any of this stuff. So I don't know if they just forgot to box it up in this case, but yeah, just be advised that if you're planning on doing this yourself, you're gonna have to do some figuring out, or you're gonna have to have some basic kind of knowledge on how to install this stuff. But looking at everything, it looks pretty straightforward. So first and foremost, the mini bull bar has everything that you will need. Obviously, the mini bull bar, it comes with some padding that goes on the bottom side of this, so you're not mounting metal to metal on your modular bumper, and then your mounting brackets for your actual light. Now, these mounting brackets, if you're not planning on adding a light bar, you don't have to install those. But if you are planning on adding a light bar, then yeah, they definitely supply you the parts with it, and obviously your mounting screws for the actual brackets. The Elite Series light bar, this is the 20-inch dual roll Elite Series light bar. It looks really dope. It looks really good. Has a very clean design on the inside. And one of the things that, if you are planning on adding this one specifically, they do require you to add the light bar bracket specific for this. Now, this does not come in the box with this light bar. You have to purchase this separately, which is this part number right here. So just be advised of that. But it does come with some mounting hardware. I'm not sure how this is going to mount up, because they require me to add this. So we're gonna figure it out together as we install this. So if you have a Bronco that has the upfitted switches, this is the wire that comes standard with this light. DV8 does offer a separate harness for those that do not have upfitter switches, or if you plan on not using your upfitter switches for this specific light bar, then definitely purchase that. But if you plan on using the upfitter switches, this is the piece that gets plugged into here, and then they give you some wires right here to where you can extend those out with extra wire, obviously, to your upfitter switches. So we're gonna have to do some soldering today. So if you're just installing the bull bar alone, it's very simple. You literally just take the 4 screws out on each side on your modular bumper, install this, and boom, you're done. Just don't forget to make sure you install the padding underneath. And yeah, that's pretty much all she wrote. But since we're installing the light bar in conjunction with this, we're gonna actually have to assemble all the parts that are required with the light bar to include the light bar, and then we're going to install the bull bar. So for starters, the bull bar, when mounted on the vehicle, is gonna look just like that with the DV8 labels facing forward. And we're going to install these brackets to where, when you're looking at them from the side, the bracket itself is facing down like that. So when you're looking at it from the side, you want the bracket to face down. You don't want this piece to face upward, because the actual light bar is going to be mounted essentially on the bottom half of this bull bar. So in order to install these brackets, you will need a 4mm Allen key for these bolts right here. So what I'd recommend is, with these 4 washers right here, you have your 2 small ones and then your 2 flat ones right here. I'd recommend putting the flat one on first. Obviously, we're going to do it on the actual bracket itself, but you're going to have the flat one on. You're going to install the bracket on top, and then you're going to use your nut and the not so flat washer on the actual nut itself to screw it in. So I'll show you in a second once I do it. Flat washer on the bottom, the other washer right there, and then you literally just put it on, and you can hand tighten it first before you torque it down. Once you have both sides on, I do recommend that you don't tighten them all the way. Tighten them just enough to where you still have a little bit of wiggle room, and you can adjust these as necessary, because we don't know what we're going to be working with when we actually install the light bar, and you don't want these so tight to where you don't have any adjustments. Once everything is completely installed, then we can use the Allen key to get in here to actually fully torque everything down. Next, we're going to install the padding onto the actual mating surface that's going to be mounted on the actual bumper. Obviously remove the backing paper, but the best way to do this is this center hole right there is going to actually be right around here. So the long edge is going to be the outer edge on both sides, as you can see it right there. And it's kind of, you can kind of see with this little long edge and slit right there, it matches up with the little slit next to the Deviate cutout. Installing this padding is a little bit tricky, as you guys saw. Maybe you guys will have a better technique, but the best way I saw it to do it is to start with the top area first. Don't press it down completely, and just kind of work it down with your thumb until you get into this creased area right here. Press it back as far as you can, and then on the front area, make sure that it's not covering up those holes and that you're not overshooting this area, just because it'll look ugly when you have that tape and stuff peeking through once you install it. So just make sure you align it properly, and then push all the air bubbles towards the back. It's pretty forgiving, so don't be afraid in case you mess it up. If you do, it's like I said, it's gonna be mounted on the vehicle and pressed down, so no one's gonna see this area. So this is the part where I wish there were a set of instructions, because in the process of doing trial and error and test fitting, I ended up scratching my light bar, but it's all right. That's a part that's going to be covered up and not visible, and I can easily use some touch-up paint for that. So that being said, the mounting hardware that comes with the light bar itself, you're not going to be using any parts in that out of that kit. I did utilize a set of washers right here from that kit, and I'll explain shortly why I use that. But the mounting hardware for the actual light bar does not come with any washers. It comes with two 13mm bolts and two 10mm bolts, and it also comes with two of these little curved brackets, two of the what I call rubber mats, and then your two 10mm bolts, which get installed on the actual light bar, and these little what I call spacer shims right here. I'll show you guys in a second how to put that stuff on. So how to properly mount it. All right, you're going to take your little curved piece, you're going to put your top hat on. It's literally real simple. You just slide it on like such. I'm trying to do this with one hand. Boom, like that. And then you place it underneath and you mount your bolt through it. All right, so the bolt gets mounted from the bottom side up. You can see it right here. When you actually put it in, no washer on that end. When you put it in, there's a groove in here that will hold your bolt in place. All right, so you actually don't really need, you only need a socket, a 13mm socket on the top portion, while you press on it from the bottom like such, because this is going to hold your bolt in place. All right, you pull it through, and then you put your self-locking 13mm nut on the back end. The reason why I use a washer, as you can see right here, is because the mounting hole is a little bigger than I would want it to be. All right, so this is like barely clearing that. So yeah, that's the reason why I use the washer on that end, just to have that added security. In order to mount the light bar to this little swivel bracket right here, use these two 10mm bolts that are supplied. You slide this in a little groove right here. Once it's slid in the groove, you can't spin it, and you slide these little shims on top of it, because those are shims that are going to be gliding on the inside of this, so you have a room for adjustability. All right, and then you mount it on the back. So let's get this thing installed. All right, once you got the light bar on, make sure it's centered and positioned how you want it. Again, don't torque these bolts back here down completely to where you have room for adjustment later on down the line when you're ready to turn these bad boys on and aim them. Also, this wiring harness, as you can see, I positioned it from looking on it from the front. I positioned it on this side because the upfitter switches are going to be on that side. So just make sure that your wiring harness is positioned accordingly based on your preference on how you want to wire it. One real quick thing, the reason why I ended up scratching the top of this light bar, you can't see it because it's installed now, but mainly because this bolt right here, I had it upside down at first. I put it in from the top down, and when installing, as you can see, the clearance in here is really tight. So yeah, it scratched it. So that kind of let me know then that I put it in upside down, but we got it figured out. So let's put it on the vehicle. To mount the bull bar, if you weren't doing the light bar in conjunction with it, you probably would have been done a long time ago, because it's literally just these 4 bolts right here and these 4 bolts right here. That's it. You remove them, install the bull bar, put the bolts back in, and you're done. I forgot to mention the type of hex key I used was a T40 hex key to remove those bolts. But what I like to do is I like to put in a nut on each side, make sure that all the holes line up accordingly before we try to finish the installation. And again, this is the side that the harness comes out. I'm going to tuck this underneath and run it up through the engine bay to the upfitter switches. So before I route this wire to the actual upfitter switches, I ended up using some wire loom, as you guys can see right here. I ended up getting it from AutoZone. This was like, I think 15 bucks, but it definitely gives us some added protection and looks really neat. All right, as you guys can see, I ran the wire through this little opening right here and through the bottom right here. As you guys can see, that little wire right there, it goes behind the battery and terminates right there. So this little harness right here, I can plug this in this area right there, and then I just need to extend the wire just enough to my upfitter switches right there. And I'm going to be connecting it to switch number 1. All right, everything is connected and done. I did leave this loose a little bit, so later on tonight I can actually adjust the beam pattern. So I kind of eyeballed it a little bit, but for now this looks really good, y'all. So I did wire it through here again. I connected it right there. I put some more wire loom stuff on it, and I ran it behind that fuse box and connected it to aux switch number 1, which is the yellow wire, and grounded it right here. So let's close this hood, give you guys another shot of what it looks like. That looks really good, really clean. So let's turn these things on. All right. Boom. Oh yeah, that's bright. Yeah, I think I might have to adjust that beam pattern later on, but right now it looks pretty even with the headlights, so we'll see. But these things are bright, like extremely bright. Let's see if I can get a front shot of this. Oh yeah. you'll definitely blind some people with that, but that looks good. Oh, and one more thing before we get into these night shots. For anybody that has the 360 view camera system, I'm not sure if all the Broncos come with it or not, but if you have this front view camera, even though this bull bar is not big and it may look like it does not impede with the camera system, it actually does. However, though it's minimal and it does not bother me personally, for some of you who are heavy off-roaders or somebody that truly relies on those cameras, as you guys can see right now, it does impede with the view of the camera. So just be mindful of that if you are interested in this bull bar. So there are other bull bars out here on the market that go above the camera itself that does not impede with the view. So just keep that in mind if you're interested in that. But now let's get into the night shots. And just like that, that's gonna wrap it up for today's install, y'all. As you guys saw, this install was pretty straightforward with basic hand tools. So I hope this video finds you guys helpful if you guys try to do this yourself. Again, if you're just doing the bull bar, it's really simple. You don't even have to go into the wiring aspect. But as you guys just saw, at night, it makes a huge difference, especially if you're in areas where you have poor lighting. That's one of the main reasons why I got it, because there are some pretty dark areas around here. If you guys are into off-roading and things of that nature, I think this light bar will also help you guys out. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. It definitely gives the Bronco a nice little front end facelift. But yeah, stay tuned on the channel because I have some more lighting from DV8 coming. So stay posted on that because this install should be pretty interesting. But like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, hashtag salute and certified drip on all your pictures and videos on Instagram to show love and support to the channel. That being said, follow me on Instagram and TikTok at certified_official. And until next time, YouTube, I hope y'all have a good day.